Hey everyone, Gill Gross here. Post-match, Novak Djokovic versus Jannik Sinner, Wimbledon 2022 quarterfinal. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. Novak Djokovic completes his 7th career comeback from down 2 sets to love and beats Sinner in 5. His 5-set record at Wimbledon is also something to behold. It is now 9-1, and clearly Djokovic's experience and mental resilience was on display once again in this match, as he said afterwards that the turning point was the bathroom break. At the end of the second set, he looked in the mirror, gave himself a pep talk, and there was a marked improvement in Novak's level from the first 2 sets, especially after the hot start from Novak, versus the latter 2 sets. And I think there will obviously be a lot of focus on anytime a young player like Sinner blows a major lead. Was it a choke? Were they mentally weak? And look, I think the mental dynamics were a factor. I thought Sinner looked overwhelmed to begin the match, ended up coming back in the first set, so that didn't really matter. And then there were some disappointing moments out of Jannik Sinner in the second and the third sets. Sorry, the third and the fourth sets, especially missing way too many forehands at the start of the third, double faulting in 2 out of the first 3 points to start the fourth, which kind of set the tone for the rest of the fourth set. He was broken in that game. So, some mistakes that are really difficult to swallow against Djokovic. But at the same time, I think I've seen a lot more egregious when it comes to chokes. And I wouldn't really slap the choke label on this because I'm not really convinced that Sinner is capable of matching the level that Djokovic displayed in the final 3 sets of tennis. From a consistency standpoint, the airtight tennis that Novak was bringing to the table, I just don't know that Jannik in any world, maybe playing at the level that he did in the second set, maybe would have gone toe-to-toe with that. But it is hard to imagine, with finish line pressure in that big a spot, Sinner limiting and reducing his mistakes enough to actually stay with Novak at that level of play. So in that sense, it reminded me, frankly, a lot of the Musetti match last year, where Djokovic came back from 2 sets down, a lot of the Tsitsipas final at Roland Garros, when Djokovic came to 2 sets to love down, where in both of those occasions, and Musetti really went away in a big way, like that one was a lot worse. But on all 3 of those occasions, Novak had early leads in all 3 sets, never really seemed in danger of actually losing the match, and just seemed like the better player. So should Sinner have won this match? Not really. Not really. Like, at no point did I think Jannik really had an opening to win this match and blew it. He was up 2 sets to love, but other than that, like, did he have a chance to really win did he have a chance to win that last set? To win a third set that you need to win a tennis match? I'm not sure he did. So that's kind of my take from the Sinner perspective. But as I alluded to, I don't think it can be understated how difficult it is to limit mistakes as well as Djokovic limited mistakes in sets 3, 4, and 5. I mean, he really didn't give Jannik anything, especially on his service games. And that just wasn't the case in the first 2 sets, where Djokovic had a lead in the first set and really got into trouble with his drop shot. He missed 2 drop shots to give away the first break of serve. Both of them were in the net. And then at 5-all, he hit 2 drop shots way too deep and, just not effective at all to give away that second break of serve. Then, if you look at the second set, Novak made 2 or 3 errors in both of the breaks of serve there. So what really dried up was Djokovic's mistakes, and it was complete lockdown mode. Complete lockdown mode. I was also impressed with the pace absorption and the defense and the movement that was on display for Djokovic. He was certainly extending rallies and doing a great job of making Sinner play extra balls and also absorbing Sinner's kind of linear power. And Sinner has a lot of pace, a lot of depth. It can be very overwhelming, and a lot of opponents will end up dropping the ball short in response to all of the weight of shot that Sinner brings to the table. Djokovic not only made very few unforced errors, but also rarely dropped the ball short in response to Sinner's linear power. I thought he absorbed pace incredibly well, and it's one of the main strengths of Djokovic's game. So there's really no surprise there. Sinner's first serve effectiveness was interesting. I was really thoroughly impressed with Sinner's first serve effectiveness in the first and second sets. In the first set, he was just clutch. I mean, the 5-all game. Oh, and you know what? I made an error earlier in this video when I said that. Oh, no, I didn't. I was correct. Okay. The 4-5 game that Sinner served in the first set and the 6-5 game, there was scoreboard pressure on Sinner, and he came up with clutch first serves on both occasions. And then in the second set, again, the start of sets were important in this match. They set the tone, except for the first set when there was a comeback. But the second set, Sinner just served overwhelmingly well at the start of that set with his first serve. And really, that really solidified the momentum that Jannik Sinner had at the end of the first set. But what ended up happening in this match is Sinner started to not come up with timely first serves, just missed too many firsts. And Sinner's second serve has been good throughout the fortnight. Djokovic did adjust very well to the body serving, but ultimately Sinner's percentages started to really hurt him because no longer was he just coming up with clutch first serves whenever he needed it. And again, I was very impressed by the effectiveness of Sinner's first serve when he made it. But you look at the 1-all game in the 5th set, where I actually thought that Sinner's baseline game started to come alive, and he started to look like his consistency was a lot better in the 5th set, started to match Novak, but he missed 4 straight first serves in that 1-all game. The quality of tennis was good, but Djokovic was able to find the break of serve there in a tight, well-contested Sinner service game, but he got no help from his serve. And I thought that might be the case in this match. I thought that Sinner might have a lot of trouble just getting help from his serve. In the first 2 sets, it was a real surprise, at least for me, that Sinner, under pressure, could rely on his serve to give him an advantage, to give him purchase, whether that be a free point or short +1 attack opportunities. That dried up in the latter 3 sets for sure. Now, on the other side, what was so impressive to me was how little chance it seemed like Sinner had to break the Djokovic serve. We talked about Sinner making mistakes early on in the 3rd set and the 4th set, and then we just talked about what happened in the 5th set at 1-all, where he couldn't make a first serve. What happened after that when Djokovic got these leads? The good thing about those breaks of serve for Sinner is they came early in the set. So you think, okay, Sinner has the rest of the set to try to get that break of serve back. Djokovic put in a dominant first serve performance from in all 3 sets that he won. First serve points won, everybody, 45 for 49. I'm just going to say it 2 more times. 45 for 49. 45 for 49. Wasn't losing behind his first serve. and the percentage was really good as well. First serve percentage for Djokovic, 66% for the match. And the spot serving was good. The free points were certainly there for Novak. And behind it, a lot of approach shots, a lot of really good aggression. And the most important thing, mistake-free aggression. And that's what Sinner just can't always say. He is not as consistent from attacking positions as Djokovic. Very few are. So just great spot serving, flawless aggression, forward pressure. And Djokovic never gave Sinner a look, never gave him an opportunity. In fact, only one game he did. It was 5-2 in the second set. The set was already over. So you got to look at situations like that and just appreciate how good Djokovic was there. There were... One tactical note was Djokovic stopped going toe-to-toe on the backhand with Sinner, and he started using the slice. And that was a good play just to break up the rhythm for Jannik and to make him hit up on the ball. And it gave Djokovic balls to attack. And I knew that would be a key in this match. Sinner needs to develop his backhand slice, and he needs to develop his volleys as well. In fact, there was a key 30-all point where there was a cat and mouse point. It was the beginning of the fourth set, and he had, it was where was it? 30-all, I might not be able to find it. Anyway, Sinner missed too many volleys, including one on a really big 30-all point. And that's, I think, one major area he can improve. Just miss less volleys. Be more secure, be more consistent at net is definitely something Sinner can work on. And dealing with the low backhand. He's good at driving the ball. Don't get me wrong. He's very good at driving the ball from below knee level, but he can be put out of position. And Novak was definitely working that backhand slice cross court and then attack either with the forehand inside in or the backhand down the line on the next ball. Really working that combination well. And also going at Sinner's footwork, making him work to get up to that backhand slice. Lastly, I think Sinner's legs got a little bit tired. In the first and the second set, Sinner was moving to the outer thirds of the court so impressively well, and it just felt like from the baseline in the neutral rallies, Sinner had a power advantage, and he was able to be just as mobile as Novak, and he wasn't missing. It was just amazing. It was amazing tennis when it came to kind of rhythmic bang, bang, neutral baseline rallies, right? Sinner was just so good at going toe-to-toe with Novak in that area, which I suspected. I mean, that's the strength of Sinner's game. He is a great power baseliner. He can really get it going off of both wings when it comes to just hurting you with consistent power baseline tennis. And he was certainly doing that. But he just wasn't as good on the run, I think, as the match went on. And I got to think that with the nerves and the occasion and how much energy he burned in the first set, I have to think that his legs started to fade a little bit in this match. So that's kind of the last thing. And of course, Djokovic, he had no such dip. So overall, really impressive response from Djokovic after the first two sets, and a very positive grass court campaign for Sinner. He came into Wimbledon with expectations far below what he was able to achieve. And I hope, and I'm optimistic, that there won't be scarring from this blown lead against Djokovic, that he'll understand that Novak really was at a phenomenal level for the latter three sets, and Sinner will be better prepared to attempt to match that level and handle those moments and be less mistake prone early on in those three sets next time he's in that spot. Djokovic moves on to the semifinals, where he will be a big favorite against Goffin or Cameron Norrie. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.